It's Colonial League Championship basketball. Hello, everybody. I'm Johnny Dady along with Mike Zambelli, all set to bring you the playoff game from the Canary Cage here at Allen High School. Tonight, in effort to decide and determine the first half league champion, it'll be the Spartans from Southern Lehigh and the Falcons from Salisbury meeting. Our guest tonight is Coach Bob Schaefer in his third year at Southern Lehigh High School, a man who turned the program around completely. Bob, congratulations, a great season so far, and you lost the final game of regular season first half play to Salisbury to create the three-way tie for the first half league championship. How do you size up tonight's game?
I'd say we did a nice job playing their guards. They had on Thursday night, they had a couple young kids come through, did a nice job for them. We want to get back to playing our basic man-to-man, which we had done all year, and just try to match up and stop Fausti and Hubbard, and hopefully the rest of the team won't do the damage that they did to us on Thursday.
All right, the 88-89 season, you dominated the action. You won the league championship. And then 89-90, Salisbury, without a question, dominated. They went through 16 games unbeaten. You were reloading, and you came up with it this year and have a chance to repeat your 88-89 performance.
I'd say right now we're real pleased. If we don't win tonight, certainly you're not going to be able to tell me that and make me feel good tonight. But I think later on in the season, well, when we reflect on what we've done so far, we've got to be real happy. Going into the year, nobody expected us to be here, to be at this point. There were maybe 4 or 5 other teams in the league people figured would compete. We were one of those also ran. So I've got to be real happy. Certainly I want to come out here and get a win and put this first half behind us. But even if we don't win tonight, I've got to be real happy. But that happiness won't come till much later in the year, or maybe once the year's over.
All right, you tapped off the 1990-91 season, losing your first game to Northwestern. And then you were breezing along. You lost, didn't lose to anybody up until Salisbury. One game in between a non-league game to Bethlehem Catholic High School. How do you feel about your playoff game with Saucon Valley Saturday night?
I thought both teams played extremely well. It could have gone either way. I'm sure Saucon, had to go away disappointed knowing they were that close to being here tonight. I think that's the kind of league we have, and I think that's the kind of second half we're going to have. It was a good game. It could have gone either way, and I'm hoping we can be right there tonight.
I thought from a spectator standpoint it was an excellent game to watch.
I felt it was much better than Thursday night's game. I thought it was a lot cleaner, fewer mistakes. Whether that came from the defense Salisbury put on us or not, I don't know, but it was a much better played game than we showed on Thursday night.
Coach, good luck to you, and thanks for dropping by.
Thank you, Johnny. Bob
Schaefer, third year as head coach over at Southern Lehigh High School. He is reloading again. I like what I see over there.
No question. He has a lot of nice young talent. He has some veterans that can show them the right way, and they got a lot of experience on Saturday night. You can say now that having to win 2 games is maybe a little tougher, but once you've won and you come to this game now, you have to give them maybe a little bit of the edge of having the experience of playing here one time already.
We haven't seen Salisbury this year. We saw them last year when they dominated, but they were wiped out by graduation. And yet Bill Paulick, in his 28th year as head coach, has brought this Falcon squad around to now where they're a contender and a possible champion.
Well, they certainly got a lot of help at number 23, Antoine Hubbard. He certainly helps the case, but Creighton Faust, the only returning starter from last year, he gives the leadership, and he's gotten some good play inside, which is what he needed early in the season.
All right, now from what you saw Saturday night, what you've heard about Salisbury, how do you size this one up tonight?
Well, in order for Southern Lehigh to be successful, they have to play the way they did Saturday. They need to get 6, 7, and maybe even 8 players involved offensively and defensively. If somebody slacks off, they're in a little bit of trouble. For Salisbury, they need big performances from Faust and also from Hubbard offensively and defensively.
All right, we're ready for the opening tap-off. Colonial League first half league championship basketball from the Canary Cage here at Allen High School.
Half a car? The totally new concept for the 90s. Drive a whole car or truck of your choice, but pay for just about half of it. It's honest, it's hassle-free, it's intelligent. We guarantee in writing what the vehicle's resale value will be when you turn it in. We then deduct that, and you pay just on the remainder. Talk to one of our half-a-car specialists at Lehigh Valley Ford, Honda, Hyundai Suzuki, Lehigh Street Auto Mile, or Lehigh Valley Acura MacArthur Road. Ask about half a car.
A worn-out muffler causes poor gas mileage and performance. Replace it with an original equipment design at ABE Car Care Center. ABE Car Care Center offers a complete line of Durlick mufflers. They provide a written guarantee with every muffler they install.
Come in and ask for a free exhaust system check. There's no obligation. We're proud of the work we do. We want your car to be safe on the highway.
Car Care Plus means quality mufflers, brakes, shocks, and inspections. Only at ABE Car Care Centers.
You can do this. In your wildest dreams.
All-Star Saturday on TNT, where the best of the NBA really put on a show. The Gatorade Slam Dunk Championship, the Schick NBA Legends Classic, the American Airlines ITT Sheraton Shootout. Yo! All-Star Saturday, February 9th at 7 p.m. only on TNT.
Bigger than life.
Serving northeastern Pennsylvania with award-winning community programming. This is Service Electric Cable TV Super 2.
It was, tonight's ball game is brought to you in part by the Vinard Car Dealerships of the Lehigh Valley. Hello there, everybody. I'm Johnny Dady along with Mike Zambelli, all set to bring you the action from the Canary Cage here at Allen High School. And it was back on Thursday night, a snow makeup night, when Salisbury defeated Southern Lehigh 66-52 to create a three-way tie for the league's first half top spot. Ironically, young fella came off the bench to spark a Salisbury attack, and that was Eon Wrestler. He scored 22 points to lead the Falcons into victory lane. Mike Stauffer also had a good offering that night, scoring 14 points. Antoine Hubbard and Creighton Faust, old reliable, chipped in with 10, while Hubbard had 11. Now, the Spartans had only one player in double digits, and that was Brett Sachs, who had 13 points.
Well, in that last meeting, as you talked about, John, Eon Wrestler is the young man who really turned things around. He only had 35 points all year long and came in and scored a season and career-high 22 points. And certainly he, along with running mate Mike Stauffer, scoring a career high of 14 points, made up the difference.
All right, Mike, and so for Southern Lehigh, it's 1 down and 1 to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we pause for a moment, and then our national anthem. The Spartans got by Saucon Valley 56-51 in Saturday night's first-round game, and would like nothing better than to equal its score with Salisbury. There's one thing for sure, the fans got their money's worth Saturday night and could get a repeat performance tonight. Southern Lehigh is 7-1 in a regular league play and 1-0 in the league playoff, and 13-3 overall. Let's take a look at the Spartans starting line. Number 12 is Brett Sachs, a 5'11 senior. Number 20 is Boomer Snyder, a 5'10 senior. Number 14 is Mike Yerkes, a 5'10 senior. Number 42 is Jason Mack, a 6-foot senior. Rounding out the starting five will be number 52, Rob Hamilton, only a junior, who stands at 6'5", Bob Schaefer, the head coach in his third year at Southern Lehigh.
And that is the same starting lineup that started Saturday night.
All right, and now the Falcons from Salisbury High School. Antoine Hubbard coming into your picture. He is a sophomore, 5'10", wears number 23. The other starters are Creighton Faust, number 20, a 5'10 senior. 24, Mike Stauffer, a 5'8 senior. Number 32 is Paul Rodenberger, And number 14 will be Eon Wrestler, the 6'3" junior Bill Paulick in his 28th year as head coach and the only coach at Salisbury High School.
Well, Coach Paulick, he's certainly not a fool, and he's been around long enough to know that Wrestler had a big game last time. He is in the starting lineup tonight. But look for Scott Oldt, who's been rotating or alternating starting assignments inside. He's a 6'3" sophomore. He'll see a lot of action here tonight. He got in early foul trouble in the last meeting, but you'll see him in a lot of minutes here this evening.
All right, we have veteran officials. Sam Merritt will work center court to start the ball game. Gary Spengler crossed away, and Jim Butler's the sit-in official, and we're ready to go. First half championship basketball, Colonial League play. Number 14, Wrestler in the center circle along with Rob Hamilton for the Spartan. And we're underway. Antoine Hubbard controls the tap for the Falcons. He's in the paint. He throws one up and in. Oh, boy.
It's the mark of a big game player, John. Takes the opening tip and goes right to the basket. He's the one that needs to get Salisbury out of the gates.
Hamilton ties it up off the glass. 2-2. And saw Southern Lehigh putting on full court pressure early. Antoine Hubbard gets the pass up front. Rodenberger rebounded by Jason Mack of the Spartans. Gets it over to Boomer Snyder.
I think Southern Lehigh would be very content on forcing Salisbury into that kind of shot decision the entire evening.
Southern Lehigh last year 2-6 the first time around, 1-7 in second half play, and they were 4-20 overall. Listen to Salisbury, 8-0 the first half, 8-0 the second half, 27-2 overall. Shot up there by Boomer Snyder, and Southern Lehigh goes ahead 4-2.
Well, good patience offensively, good ball movement, and Snyder all along the baseline there cammed about the 10-footer.
Southern Lehigh, Salisbury is the home team tonight.
Both teams opening up in man for man.
Hubbard in a paint again, flips it off the last second, a shot up off the glass, not good by Rodenberger. Ball knocked down, and let's see, Salisbury will get it.
Salisbury not taking advantage of a great creation by Hubbard inside. You know, a man who can penetrate with his ability is going to draw a lot of defensive action. Dished off to the open Salisbury player, but unable to convert.
Rodenberger just inside the three-point perimeter. Gets it back out to Stauffer. This is Hubbard. Antoine to Faust. Sparky flips the ball over to Rodenberger. Shot up and in by Stauffer. And we're tied at 4. Salisbury putting full court pressure now on the Spartans. Long pass up front, they break it. This is Mike Yerkes. Makes a power move, gives it to Hamilton at the last second. He's up for the shot, not good. Rebounded by Salisbury.
Much the same as what we saw on the other end. Good creation by Yerkes there, only to have the inside shot missed.
Hubbard attempt for 3, not good. Rebounded by the Falcons. Overhead pass. Boy, that was a beauty. Up front, Hamilton. Offensive foul against Jason Mack.
And getting the defensive positioning was number 32, Paul Rodenberger. Nice job of getting back defensively to take the charge.
Faust. Inside the perimeter. Throws it up there, not good. Rebounded by Rob Hamilton, and he is fouled by Mike Yerkes. Mike caught going up over the top. We're tied at 4-4, 5:19 remaining here in the first period.
Sure, Hamilton is one of those players that Coach Bob Schaefer might have had a little talk to before this game about the last game. Hamilton only scored 3 points, but worse, was a little bit battered on the boards. He needs a big evening. Nice job by Hamilton there.
All right, offensively, Salisbury has scored 1,070 points in his 13 games for an average of 71.3 points a ball game. Field goal, the layup by Mike Yerkes puts the Spartans ahead 6-4. Included in that awesome offensive attack was a 104-57 win over Penargil. a 99-63 win over Northern Lehigh, and an 88-60 win over Brandywine.
Nice defensive effort by Southern Lehigh, forcing the first turnover of the evening.
4 times this season, the Falcons have scored 66 points in the game. Jason Mack for 2. His first field goal. And it's an 8-4 ball game. Southern Lehigh. Hubbard up front. Gets it over to Rodenberger. Up off the glass and in. Paul Rodenberger, a 5'9" senior, picks up his first deuce of the night to make it an 8-6 ball game.
Good job by the Falcons of pushing the ball down court after a made Southern Lehigh basket.
Nice play. Ball bat out of bounds, awarded to Southern Lehigh. 4 times the Falcons have scored 66 points a game. They defeated Caddy 66-63, defeated Central Catholic 66-56, Quakertown 66-63, and Southern Lehigh 66-52. So that's a magic number for the Falcons this year. The Falcons' closest game was a 50-49 win over Nazareth. We'll check the Spartans in just a moment. Hamilton, Jason Mack. On the baseline was Boomer Snyder. Good call. Sam there. There's Bill Pollock in the center. Frankie Linko to his left, your right. Young man with the glasses. Head baseball coach, and a very, very successful one. That's all, Curry. Hubbard up front. In a paint. Off the glass. Not good. Rebounded by Jason Mack of Southern Lehigh. Quickly flips it over to Brett Sachs.
For Southern Lehigh dodging a bullet, they're not getting back defensively. Yerkes is supposed to pick up Hubbard. He was a little late in getting over there. Hubbard missed the penetration shot inside.
Rebound out of the air by Wrestler. Long pass up front to Rodenberger. Has to check back off. Rodenberger gets it out to Sparky Faust. Creighton, quarterback on the football team, and a super all-around athlete, the only returning starter from last year's Super Ball Club, which was wiped out by graduation.
They moved Faust around a little bit this year in the football field. He went a little wide receiver, first team all-conference defensive back.
Let's take a look at Southern Lehigh. The Spartans have scored 922 points in their 16 games for an average of 57.6 points a ball game. Their biggest single game output was an 83-54 win over Penarjo. In only 3 games, Southern Lehigh has been under 50 points. In their season's opener, they lost 44-33 to Northwestern. Later, they defeated Wilson 49-43 and lost 47-45 to Bethlehem Catholic. Defensively, Salisbury has allowed its opponents 56.2 points a ball game. Southern Lehigh has given up 50.1. The field goal by Ian Wrestler, his first. He had 22 points in their first meeting. He's a 6'3" junior.
Nice patience there by Salisbury, working for the good shot. Wrestler hit a tough baseline jumper.
We're tied at 8. We have a personal foul. Sam Merritt over the scorer's table. And this one will be against Hubbard, I believe. Yes, Hubbard, his first. On the free throw line is Mike Yerkes.
Yerkes had 7 points the last time these clubs played. He had a good night against Saucon Valley the other evening. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line down the stretch, scoring 8 total points in the game.
He still has an opportunity to break the tie, and he does.
Now, and he has the big defensive assignment, too, having to guard Hubbard man for man.
Faust. Up front, gets it over to Hubbard. Hubbard guarded closely by Yerkes. There's a whistle and another foul. This one against Southern Lehigh.
Well, you can see the defensive strategy there. When Hubbard, it is a straight man for man. But when Hubbard or Faust attempts to penetrate, there's always some slough off or defensive help there to wait. Sachs picks up the personal foul in that situation.
And that was his first. Jason Mack up front. The pass to Sachs. Sachs makes a power move for the bucket, off the glass and in. Oh, nice move, nice play, good assist. And it's an 11-8 ball game. Southern Lehigh, the visitors tonight,
Sachs changed the tone to his dribble there and froze the defense a little bit, was able to get around him.
Rodenberger follows up his own shot, not good, knocked down out of bounds, and will be awarded to Southern Lehigh. Salisbury, Billy Paulick, in his 28th year as head coach, also serves as athletic director. His assistant, Frank Yalinko and Jamie Shoup. Bob Schaefer in his 3rd year. His assistants, Kurt Zellner, Bob Yoakum, and Jim Snyder. A foul against Hubbard.
Yeah.
And that will be his 2nd.
And that's not a smart foul by Antoine right there. He needs to play the full game here tonight. Now he's going to have to play with 2 personal fouls, and that will take away from a little bit of his penetration offensively. You don't want to commit personal fouls out at the half-court point.
Yerkes with the ball for the Spartans, 11-8. Southern Lehigh leading. That's Chris Taylor into the lineup for Southern Lehigh. He's a 6-foot junior. Boy, they got some classy underclassmen, I'll tell you.
And they have a nice bench. Taylor comes off. We'll see Coyle yet this evening. And they need to be productive coming off the bench, not only offensively, but playing good defense.
Sachs. They turn it over. Here goes Faust. In the alley. Up off the glass. Bingo! Creighton Faust with his first deuce. 11-10, Southern Lehigh.
Antoine Hubbard with the reach-in, slapped it away. Faust able to then take it coast to coast.
Taylor, about 18 feet out. Gets it over to Snyder, and a boomer hits it for 2. His 2nd field goal. And that is the end of the first quarter. It is Southern Lehigh 13, Salisbury 10. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Rick Wagner. You know, the right fit with your bowling ball makes all the difference. Here at C.J. Wagner Bowling Supplies, you'll find the bowling ball and the personalized service that you won't find anywhere else. We take the time with each customer to make sure it's the right fit on the right ball, and then we'll drill the ball while you wait. We've been servicing the bowling public for over 50 years at 1814 Green Street in Allentown. And we also offer a full variety of trophies, plaques, awards, and engraving.
Kick off your Super Bowl weekend as NFL stars and kids get down and get real. Live from Tampa Bay, home of Super Bowl 25, it's the NFL ProSet Super Bowl Teleclinic. You'll get some real behind-the-scenes information about football and life, plus other super surprises. The NFL ProSet Super Bowl Teleclinic, Super Saturday on the Learning Channel.
Half a car? The totally new concept for the 90s. Drive a whole car or truck of your choice, but pay for just about half of it. It's honest, it's hassle-free, it's intelligent. We guarantee in writing what the vehicle's resale value will be when you turn it in. We then deduct that, and you pay just on the remainder. Talk to one of our half-a-car specialists at Lehigh Valley Ford, Honda, Hyundai Suzuki, Lehigh Street Auto Mile, or Lehigh Valley Acura MacArthur Road. Ask about half a car.
Serving northeastern Pennsylvania with award-winning community programming. This is Service Electric Cable TV Super 2.
All right, we're back here at the Canary Cage, and if you're a stat nut like we like to be, against Saucon Valley, only Jason Mack was in double figures with 14 points. Salisbury had 4 players in double digits. In the quarter score in that particular ball game, their last meeting at the end of the first quarter, Southern Lehigh led 15-9. But Salisbury outscored the Spartan 21-13 the second quarter to take a 30-28 lead into the locker room at the halftime break. The third period belonged to Salisbury. They outscored Southern Lehigh 17-10 to increase their lead to 47-38. And they again outscored the Spartans 19-14 the fourth period to win a ball game going away 66-52. Three-point attempt, no. Faust with the rebound for Salisbury. Quickly up front, Rodenberger throws it up, not good. Rebounded by Brett Sachs. Sachs quickly up front, ball batted down, not a bounce by Faust, and it will go to Southern Lehigh.
Well, if you're looking for differences between this game and the first game they played, Southern Lehigh shot 32.6% for the entire game. In the first quarter here tonight, Southern Lehigh is 6 of 9 for 66.6%. Salisbury's 5 of 13 for 38%.
Here's Hubbard. Attempts a bounce pass over to Stauffer. Goes by Mike and out of bounds. And the ball will go to Southern Lehigh. And Bill Paulick has a substitute up off the bench.
Second turnover against Salisbury for the evening. Southern Lehigh has committed 3.
13-10. Southern Lehigh leading. This is Brett Sachs. Boomer Snyder. Yerkes fakes left, goes right. Snyder for 3. Bullseye. Boy, he pulled the trigger on that baby. And hit the bullseye for his 3rd field goal, and it's 16-10, the biggest lead so far in this ball game by either team, and it belongs to Southern Lehigh.
Snyder hit his first jumper of the evening, and usually for a guard or a shooter outside, to see them hit the first one usually means a big evening, and Snyder is looking very confident here tonight.
Rodenberger gets it in traffic. Ball is up and good. The field goal was good by Scott Oldt, a 6'3" sophomore who just came into the lineup for Salisbury.
Now, Oldt, we talked about at the beginning, experienced some foul trouble in the last meeting, now coming off the bench here this evening.
Good battle underneath the boards. Here goes Faust from the foul line. Bingo! Faust getting the hot hand now. 2nd field goal, and it's 16-14.
Well, that's the way to run that break. Both Faust and Hubbard need to become more involved offensively. Faust with 2 baskets. Antoine Hubbard only has 1 thus far this evening.
Taylor.
That was one of the things that Southern Lehigh did extremely well in the last meeting. They limited Hubbard and Faust to 22 points combined, where they're averaging 37 on the year.
Ball deflected out of bounds, will be awarded to the Spartans. Substitution. Taylor's out of the lineup. Rob Hamilton back in for Southern Lehigh. Good pass inbounds. Yerkes has it. Mike has his 2nd field goal. Boy, they look good tonight. 18-14. Southern Lehigh leading. We have 5:35 remaining here in the first half of the ball game.
They really look sharp offensively, John. There's so much motion with that Southern Lehigh offense. It's hard to play a real good, tight defense. People off the ball are showing a lot of motion and freeing themselves up.
Jamie Ebersole in the lineup, a 5'8" junior for Salisbury. Where's number 11? Shot up and in by Scott Oldt, and that's his 2nd. Portions of this quarter are brought to you by Becker Subaru, located on Route 222 in Wescosville.
It was a tough turnaround shot by Oldt offensively for Salisbury. Something as a coach you like to see when a young man doesn't play particularly well and doesn't start. You bring him off your bench to get a lot of production. There's 2 baskets now for Oldt coming off the bench, and he's looking sharp. Let's take a look now as Yerkes, or Sachs, number 12, going to the penetration. And you see the reach and foul called right down.
Foul by Ebersole. That's Jamie's first. Jason Mack. Boomer Snyder has it. 2nd 3-pointer.
Well, you can see that Snyder's in a rhythm. You can see he wants the ball, and that's what's great about this Southern Lehigh team. They'll work to get him the ball now.
Drayton Faust picks up his 3rd deuce. 21-18.
Nice job by Faust. He keeps Salisbury in the game here as he's hit a couple of back-to-back jumpers now, and they've been important ones. He seems to be finding his rhythm.
Got 3 in a row. 21-18, only 3 points down, Salisbury. We have 4:20 remaining here in the first half. Boomer Snyder underneath. Mack. Bingo! Jason Mack with his 2nd field goal.
Well, that'll drive you crazy as a coach. Salisbury came up with the steal. They played excellent defense. Southern Lehigh hustled back to get the ball and came up with an easy 2 points.
Faust, left-handed hook, not good. And a personal foul, and this one will be on Brett Sachs, and that will be his 2nd.
Well, that's the great matchups here this evening. Sachs is being hounded by Faust and vice versa, and it's Yerkes and Antoine Hubbard going head-to-head, both offensively and defensively, and they're just 2 great matchups.
Substitution, Mike Stauffer back in the Salisbury lineup. He is replacing Jamie Ebersole. Faust. Inbounds to Hubbard. Back to Faust. Three-point range. He pulls the trigger. Got it for three.
With Faust, the defense dropping off of him, and he realized it and took it right to where he wanted it.
Coyle missing that layup, followed up by Rob Hamilton. That's his second deuce. 25-21. Southern Lehigh. 3:30 remaining here in the first half.
Faust getting instructions from Bill Pollock as he went by the bench.
Faust. He's hot. He goes for three again. No. Rebounded by Rob Hamilton. And he is fouled by Scott Oldt of Salisbury.
Well, that's a nice job by Hamilton inside of controlling the glass and protecting the basketball once you bring it down.
So Rob Hamilton goes to the foul line for the first time tonight. The 6'5" junior has a pair of field goals. Southern Lehigh leading 25-21 with 3:16 remaining in the first half.
That is the 5th personal foul, as you can see, and Salisbury will be in the penalty. Southern Lehigh has only committed 3 team fouls to this point.
And the rebound is by Oldt. Gets it over to Hubbard. Hubbard quickly up front. He goes for three, not good. Faust for three, not good. Rebound. Saved by the Falcons. Cross-court pass over to Oldt, and he is fouled. And a personal foul will be on Mike Yerkes, and that'll be his second.
Well, some excellent hustle by Salisbury offensively to give themselves that second and third shot opportunity to draw the personal foul.
Ian Ressler, the 6'3" junior, back in the lineup.
Take a look at the action here, then the pass going across the middle. Clearly the defense out of position there, and a good job by Oldt of taking it strong to the basket to draw the personal foul.
0 with 2 field goals on a foul line for the first time tonight.
Well, he struggled from there on the year. He's only 8 of 22 for 36%. Oldt is averaging 5.4 points a game.
25-21, Southern Lehigh. 2:54 remaining in a half. He gets that one. His 5th point, 25-22. Boomer Snyder, 5'10" senior. Looking for help, find Jason Mack. I saw his grandfather, the former mayor here.
Yeah, I was talking with him when you were talking to Coach Schaefer. He's excited and ready to go.
Oh, yeah. Shot up there by Jim Coyle, not good. A 6-foot freshman. It's 3-on-2. Faust keeps. Then bounces it off somebody's foot, goes out of bounds, and Salisbury will have possession.
Getting back defensively, number 20, Brian Boomer Snyder.
All right, Faust. Inbounds. Gets it into Hubbard.
2-3 zone now, it looks like, by Southern Lehigh. Let's take a look, see if Salisbury sends somebody through there. You got to look at it. It is the first we've seen a zone here this evening.
Hubbard. Oh, that ball was snatched away by Faust. Intended for Stauffer. Faust. Hubbard. 1:59 running remaining in the first half. 25-22. Hubbard. Faust. Gets it in the low post. Shot is up and not good by Ressler. Rebounded, followed up by Oldt. He is fouled. I notice the Salisbury players are wearing yellow bands, wristbands, in honor of the troops or memory, whichever you prefer, in Saudi Arabia. There they are. They were brought in, I think, by Creighton Faust. Gave to his team.
Well, he is the captain. He's the guy supposed to think of those things.
Oh, yeah.
He has to have the team ready. I'll tell you, he's played a heck of a second quarter here to pick up the offensive slack. Good recognition by the Falcon offense there to see the defensive change and set their offense and give Oldt an opportunity to convert from the free throw line.
Again, you told me Oldt's poor foul shooter. He got 3 out of 4.
Well, he's struggling on the year. He's 36% on only 8 of 22. But you know what? He does show good form. He has pretty good technique there. And I think it's a matter of just getting more to the free throw line. Oldt is only a sophomore and just gaining more confidence.
25-24. Yerkes, no. Foul underneath the bucket. And this will be against Rob Hamilton. That'll be his second.
Salisbury, let's take a look at it here defensively. They've been able to get Southern Lehigh out of their offensive rhythm. We don't see that good crisp passing. We don't see that movement away from the ball. And there you see forcing the issue offensively, and the charge goes against number 52, Rob Hamilton.
And Paul Rodenberger just came back into the lineup on the foul line, pops it. That's his 3rd point, and we're tied at 25.
Well, Rodenberger averages 10 points a game. He scored 3 the first time around.
And Salisbury goes ahead, 26-25. We have to thank Les Kish, by the way, for getting someone on that table, scores table, who put the post of fouls up on the board. I see Richie Smizak is on the table.
Well, we got him to work.
Along with young Milo Seward.
Right.
I guess they're handling the scoreboard. 26-25, Salisbury. Yerkes, Mike. Gets it over to Coyle, and there's a whistle and a foul.
Well, I think one of the things here, John, in the first half that Salisbury has to feel happy about, they have a 1-point lead, and Antoine Hubbard, the league, or the league's 2nd leading scorer, the team's top scorer, only has 2 points.
Hubbard coming out of the lineup right now. Foul was on Rodenberger. Coyle on the foul line can tie it up, and he does.
Well, Coyle's a good one. Along with Taylor, he gave Southern Lehigh 17 points off the bench the other night. He was a perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line in the last 30 seconds of that elimination game against Saucon Valley.
All right, he breaks the tie. Southern Lehigh gets up 27-26. 1 minute running remaining here in the first half of the ball game. Smart move taking Hubbard out in this last minute. Shot up off the glass, not good. Rebounded by Jason Mack of Southern Lehigh. There comes Boomer Snyder, gets it up to Mike Yerkes. Yerkes over to Coyle. This is Snyder to Yerkes. 40 seconds and counting. They're going to go for 1 shot. Chris Taylor is fouled by Paul Rodenberger, and that's Paul's 2nd personal foul. Comes with 35 seconds remaining here in the first half. 27-26, Southern Lehigh leading. And Chris Taylor, scoreless tonight, goes to the foul line for the first time. More substitution by Bill Pollock. Mike Stauffer's back in the lineup. Jamie Ebersol is in.
Well, what a big boost Taylor was the other night also.
Jason Lackey, a 5'9" junior, number 10, right there on the bottom of your screen, is in. 28-26, 29-26. Southern Lehigh.
Taylor scored the first 7 points of the 4th quarter against Saucon Valley on Saturday night.
Faust. Sparky guarded very closely by Yerkes. Gets it over to Lackey. Lackey over to Stauffer. Ebersol. Faust. 13 seconds and counting. Lackey. 8-7. Better get it off, man. Gonna lose it. They're gonna lose it. They'll lose it. That's the end of the first half. It is Southern Lehigh 29, Salisbury 26. We'll be right back.
But what are you doing here?
Getting my machine fixed.
You mean your washing machine?
No, my automobile.
Well, what kind of repairs do they do here?
Well, they do brakes, they do mufflers, they do state inspection, shock absorbers, and they're locally owned and operated by 2 guys who grew up right here in the Lehigh Valley. Boy, don't you know nothing?
Well, I know this. If you don't stop eating, they'll have to put a set of their shock absorbers underneath the front seat of your machine.
Car Care Plus, only at ABE Car Care Center.
Half a car? The totally new concept for the 90s. Drive a whole car or truck of your choice, but pay for just about half of it. It's honest, it's hassle-free, it's intelligent. We guarantee in writing what the vehicle's resale value will be when you turn it in. We then deduct that, and you pay just on the remainder. Talk to one of our half-a-car specialists at Lehigh Valley Ford, Honda, Hyundai Suzuki, Lehigh Street Auto Mile, or Lehigh Valley Acura MacArthur Road. Ask about half a car.
This year, Service Electric presents the perfect way to send your Valentine's Day sentiments to your sweetheart or loved one. We'll put it on Service Electric's electronic message center on dial 27. On February 13th, 14th, and 15th, we're reserving dial 27 for sweethearts. To get your message on, send it at least 2 weeks in advance, along with a check or money order for $10 to Service Electric Cable Television in care of Happy Valentine's Day. Then watch for your Valentine's Day wish on dial 27.
Serving northeastern Pennsylvania with award-winning community programming. This is Service Electric Cable TV Super 2.
A portion of the third quarter of tonight's basketball game is brought to you in part by the Vinart Car dealerships of the Lehigh Valley. Hi there once again, everybody. I'm Johnny Dady with Mike Zambelli, all set to bring you the second half of this Colonial League Championship ball game. And let's review the first half stats and scoring. At the end of the first quarter, Southern Lehigh led 13-10. Each team scored 16 points in the second period, so the Spartans took a 29-26 lead into the locker room at the halftime break. Scoring honors for Southern Lehigh in the first half went to Boomer Snyder, who had 4 field goals, 2 of them three-pointers, for a total of 10 points. Brett Sachs had a field goal for 2. Mike Yerkes 2 field goals and 1 out of 2 fouls for 5. Jimmy Coyle and Chris Taylor 2 out of 2 each from the foul line for a couple of points apiece. Jason Mack 2 field goals for 4. Rob Hamilton 2 field goals. He missed a foul for 4. So the line for Southern Lehigh, 11 field goals, 2 of them three-pointers, 5 out of 7 from the foul line for their total of 29. They had 7 personal fouls called against them. High score for Salisbury in the first half of the ball game. Creighton Faust had 9 points, 4 field goals, 1 of them a three-pointer. Jamie Ebersol and Jason Lackey were scoreless. Ian Ressler had 1 field goal for 2 points. Antoine Hubbard, just a deuce, 1 field goal for 2. Mike Stauffer, a field goal for 2. Scott Oldt, 2 field goals, 3 out of 4 fouls for 7. And Paul Rodenberger, field goal, 2 out of 2 fouls for 4. So the line for Salisbury, 10 field goals, 1 of them a three-pointer, 5 out of 6 on the foul line for their 26. They had 6 personal fouls called against them.
All right, looking at the shooting percentages, and keep in mind what I talked about in that first half. Southern Lehigh really poor in that first meeting, but look at here tonight. Salisbury 10 of 25, Southern Lehigh 11 of 18. Salisbury 40%. Look at the difference. Southern Lehigh, which shot 32.6%, 61% here this evening. From the free throw line, both teams getting 5 points. Salisbury on 6 shots, Southern Lehigh on 7. Excellent percentage, 83% Salisbury, 71% Southern Lehigh. Turnovers close. Salisbury committed 4, Southern Lehigh committed 6. And I think one of the things also to look at that first half is the defensive job again being done on Antoine Hubbard, limiting him to 2 points here, but also Oldt coming in and off the bench. Scott Oldt, we talked about how he was in foul trouble, and that allowed Ressler to be the big hero with 22 points. Oldt had 7 first quarter points, came in off Bill Pollock's bench, played very strong. I would not be surprised to see him in this game early here in the second half.
All right, also taking in this ball game tonight, Dave Lindy, the green superintendent at Wedgwood Golf Course. His son, Doug, is having a great year. And also along Randy Durich, who is the assistant football coach at Southern Lehigh and was over to Mayes, and he's now over at Durham. And Neil Hampshire, the former golf coach at Southern. Is he still golf coach down there? Neil Hampshire.
I don't believe so.
He was, anyway, a long time. Most of those banners he says in that gym are his.
Are his.
Second half is underway. And Ian Ressler picks up his second field goal off the glass to pull the Falcons to within 1. 29-28. Snyder gets the ball over to Brett Sachs for the Spartans. Sack, Jason Mack inside the three-point range, hits the deuce. His third field goal.
Boy, Mack is money in the bank with that shot. They set a little screen for him down low. He busts up around that free throw line, and I'll tell you, he's hit a high percentage of those in the 3 games that we've covered for Southern Lehigh this year.
The other night, that was his money shot.
He killed him, yeah.
And the same spot, like if they had a mark on a floor for him.
Yep.
Rodenberger with the ball for Salisbury to Hubbard. Hubbard spins around 8 feet out off the glass. Too high, too hard. Rebounded by Rob Hamilton of Southern Lehigh. Rob quickly over to Brett Sachs.
Another good defensive effort by Yerkes, forcing Hubbard to take an off-balance jumper.
There's Mack in his favorite spot. Off the glass, the field goal by Mike Yerkes. And that's his third. And it's 33-28, Southern Lehigh.
Again, good movement without the basketball. Yerkes coming backdoor. Good offensive communication.
Faust gets his own rebound.
It's the same starters that started the game. Salisbury, it's Ressler, Faust, Hubbard, Stauffer, and Rodenberger. For Southern Lehigh, it's Sachs, Yerkes, Snyder, Mack, and Hamilton.
Hubbard gets it back out to Mike Stauffer. Stauffer to Faust. Hubbard in a deep corner, up high for 3. No. And there's going to be a foul against Jason Mack going over the top. And that'll be Jason's second personal foul. There he is, number 42, 6-foot senior. Good football player, too.
Yeah, this is a good call here. Let's watch it. Ian Ressler, number 14, is going to have the positioning there. And you see it was going to be an easy 2 points inside. Actually, not a bad foul by Mack to take in that situation.
Faust in a 3-point range. Stauffer in the side the 3-point range. Rebounded by Jason Mack in good position that time. 33-28, Southern Lehigh leading and in possession.
Southern Lehigh mixing up the defenses there again, showing that 2-3 zone.
Hamilton, Rob with the ball, gets it over to Mike Yerkes. Throws it up and in.
Nice reversal by Yerkes there. Antoine Hubbard overplaying him. Yerkes received the ball and reversed, went the other way. Nice left hand.
Field goal, Ian Ressler, his third. 6'3" junior, and there's a foul, and that'll be against Creighton Faust. Sparky charges his first personal foul. 35-30, Southern Lehigh. 5:32 remaining in the third period. Don't go away. Jason Mack. Power move off the glass and in. So that baby rolled around and finally decided to drop through. 37-30.
Sometimes when you press, one good outlet pass can create a break, and that's what happened.
Hubbard picked up his second deuce of the night. 37-32.
And Hubbard has worked hard. That was a tough shot on the run and in a lot of traffic.
Sachs, Snyder. Oh, he was going to pull a trigger on that baby. Jason Mack in the deep corner. Sachs. Guarded by Antoine Hubbard. Jason Mack, he likes to come up about 6 more feet. A little semi-alley-oop to Rob Hamilton, who gets his third field goal.
Nice post by Hamilton inside, and a good job of getting the ball to him. When your big man gets that kind of position, you want to get him the basketball and let him take advantage of it.
And Bill Paulick, the skipper, wants a timeout with 4:30 remaining in the third period. And his team is down by 7.
Well, I don't blame him. Southern Lehigh has come out of the halftime break, hitting their first 5 shot opportunities. They are perfect 5 for 5 here in the third quarter after shooting 61% in the first half. But yet they're still only up by 7. Salisbury hanging around.
Going into this ball game tonight, Salisbury in league play was 7-1, and overall 13-2. Southern Lehigh 7-1, then 1-0 in that playoff with the win over Saucon Valley, and 13-3 overall. Dr. F. Laird Evans, superintendent schools at Salisbury. Mario D'Angelo, the principal. Bill Paulick, head coach and athletic director. Mr. Michael Green is superintendent down at Southern Lehigh. John Squashia, our friend from up at Penargil, formerly Penargil, now the principal at Southern Lehigh, and Don Harricle, the AD. All right, back to the action here. 39-32, Southern Lehigh. Salisbury with the ball. Hubbard, Antoine. Inside the three-point range, gets it out to Faust.
I think the best thing that Yerkes has done defensively, number 14 with Hubbard, is to deny him the basketball. Once an offensive player receives the ball like this, you're not going to stop him unless he misses.
Hubbard got a bullseye. Pulled the trigger on that baby and hit it. 35-39. That's his third field goal, first three-pointer.
Just as I started talking about Yerkes, he seemed to be looking the other way, and Hubbard lost him, was able to receive the ball and canned to three.
Rob Hamilton. That's 5-second violation. So they turn the ball over. Salisbury trailing by 4 with an opportunity to pick up a couple here. Here comes Hubbard.
That's nice team defense there, away from the ball. Nowhere to go with the pass, and that's where the 5-second violation came in.
And a foul against Mike Yerkes. Holding. That's his third personal foul. And it is the team's second here in the second half, so it's none shooting. Faust will work it inbound. Sparky gets it in a Hubbard. There's Faust.
2-3 zone. Off that inbounds, it seems Southern Lehigh goes to that 2-3 and then just stays in it.
Stauffer for 2. Has it. Mike picks up his second deuce. 39-37. Do you think, now going back over the years, that Salisbury appears to be a more disciplined team than they have been over the years?
I was going to make that comment in the first half. I think particularly offensively, John, I don't think I can recall them working that patient offense the way they did in that first half. Yes, I agree.
Yerkes not good. Rebounded by Hubbard, but he stepped on a baseline.
That's the first Southern Lehigh miss of the second half. Now 5 of 6.
39-37. Jason Mack makes a move. Gets it over to Boomer Snyder, and he hits it for 2. That's the 5th field goal for the Boomer. And his 12th point of the night. 41-37. Stauffer, no. Jason Mack takes it out of the air. Gets it over to Brett Sachs.
Well, Mack, a nice job of cleaning the glass and also a nice job on the offensive end. Felt the defensive pressure and dished to a wide open Snyder.
Snyder, 12-footer. That's his 6th field goal. He's hot. 41-37.
I think I'd have Boomer shooting a lot more here in this half. I mentioned it in the first half. He hit his first shot of the night. Southern Lehigh is a team that on any given night, any one of 5 or 6 people can emerge as the offensive star, and it seems like Boomer's the man tonight.
Eon Ressler back in the lineup, replacing Mike Stauffer for Salisbury. Hubbard for 3. No. And he was fouled by Mike Yerkes, and that'll be Mike's 4th.
Oh, that's
Look out.
Yeah, that's not a good foul there. Hubbard was not going to take a good shot, and I don't know, Yerkes might have picked one up there, maybe a tired foul there, but that certainly hurts. Well, the scoreboard has him for 3. How many do you have him for 3?
Yerkes?
Yeah.
I have him for 4.
For 4. The scoreboard has him for 3. So we don't know.
Well,
I'd have to believe he committed that foul with 3 of them on him already. We're just going to have to wait and see. Either way, he is going to go to the bench, and he is going to come off of Antoine Hubbard. We will see who picks him up now defensively for Southern Lehigh.
Hubbard, first trip to the foul line. Hits it, 43-38.
Hubbard, who now owns the Salisbury school record for single points scored in a game of 46 points, and he did that in 23 minutes of playing time.
Picks up a couple here, 43-39. Sachs. There's a whistle back court. Might be a foul on Creighton Faust.
Well, there was some contact there, and the Salisbury coaching staff was looking for maybe Sachs with that elbow extended out there. The call went the other way, however. Foul was on Ressler.
Ressler.
His 2nd of the night.
Traveling. I have him for 1, so maybe he has one of those that, no, he couldn't have. Well,
nice defensive. Yeah, right. Nice defensive effort by Oldt. unfortunately just traveled with the ball there, but he did a good job of dropping back and not getting caught in that pick and roll to intercept that pass.
Jim Coyle. Oh, Oldt made a nice defensive move, intercepted that pass, which was intended for Chris Taylor. Here's Hubbard. Inside the paint, gets it off the last second to Oldt, who missed the layup, and there's a foul.
Well, it is number 34, Chris Taylor, who now draws the defensive assignment against Antoine Hubbard with Yerkes on the bench. Hubbard creating offensively the missed shot, and I'll tell you, Oldt has really responded here tonight after an off evening the last time. He's playing a heck of a game here tonight off the Falcons bench.
That foul was against Chris Taylor. Oldt on a free throw line. He had 3 out of 5. He missed his first attempt, hit 3 in a row, and then missed that one.
Well, I mentioned he's only 36% on the year, and now we're getting down, I guess, to more like his average, 8 of 22. He scored just 2 last time. He averages 5.4 a game.
Foul against Eon, wrestler, blocking. They're done shooting. 43-39, 1:32 remaining in a third period. Southern Lehigh leading. This is for the first half Colonial League Championship. Sachs. Snyder. Taylor. Snyder lost it. The Boomer couldn't get the handle on it. Salisbury trailing 43-39 with 1:08 remaining in third period. Will take over. There they come.
Southern Lehigh's problem has not been shooting percentage tonight. Turnovers now 4 in the third quarter, and they're just not getting shots. Defensive pressure coming from Salisbury to force that turnover there.
Foul will be against Jason Mack.
Well, if one team can afford maybe a few more fouls, it would be Southern Lehigh, as they do rely on 7, 8 people, 3 coming off the bench.
Shot is up and good by Rodenberger. That's 3 for 3 for Paul. That was a third personal foul, by the way, on Mack. 43-40. Got the overspin and got the point. 43-41.
That's a heck of a
Lehigh by just 2.
That's a heck of a night for Rodenberger from the line. He's just 15 of 45 coming into the night.
4 for 4 tonight. Snyder, the Boomer, guarded by Hubbard, gets it to Jason Mack. Mack over to Jim Coyle. Coyle, the 6'3" freshman. 35 seconds. Jason Mack out a little too far. Brett Sachs. 25 seconds. Taylor. Coyle. Look out. 18 seconds.
Salisbury fans yelling boring, but this is smart basketball. You're up 2. You don't want to do anything to hurt that.
The alley was open. They didn't get it. And there's a whistle and a foul against Hubbard.
Boy, it looks like it. There was some contact over there, and I think going for that loose ball, Hubbard is going to get called for the personal foul.
That'll be his third. And it comes with 7 seconds remaining here in the third period. Boy, that alley was open momentarily.
Yeah, Matt could have taken that all the way to the hole. He opted to pull up and try and hit the short jumper. Didn't get it. 7 seconds yet.
Hubbard going down now with 7 seconds. You didn't tell me about the football games yesterday. The Giants, big win over the 49ers. The Bills, oh.
That was unbelievable. That second game was a classic football game in my mind.
Yeah. I was glad to see. That's the end of the third quarter. Southern Lehigh, 43. Salisbury, 41. We'll be right back.
C.J. Wagner. Trophies, plaques, and bowling supplies.
Half a car? The totally new concept for the 90s. Drive a whole car or truck of your choice, but pay for just about half of it. It's honest, it's hassle-free, it's intelligent. We guarantee in writing what the vehicle's resale value will be when you turn it in. We then deduct that, and you pay just on the remainder. Talk to one of our half-a-car specialists at Lehigh Valley Ford, Honda, Hyundai Suzuki, Lehigh Street Auto Mile, or Lehigh Valley Acura MacArthur Road. Ask about half a car.
Serving northeastern Pennsylvania with award-winning community programming. This is Service Electric Cable TV Super 2.
All right, portions of the fourth quarter brought to you by Becker Subaru. We're located on Route 222 in West Coesville. Ready to start the fourth quarter play. I start saying I was happy to see Matt Barr kick the winning field goal for the New York Giants, because I remember when Matt Barr came into the studios for a 30-minute interview on my Coach's Corner program. Years ago, he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers at the time and playing soccer for the Pennsylvania Stoners. A real class guy, and a big win for him.
You know what was going through my mind when you look at all the Giants on the sidelines down in the huddle and all them 300-pound guys, and he's what, maybe 170, 180. What happens to him if he doesn't make that? That's what I kept thinking. Heck of a job by him, boy. 5 field goals in the game, and heck of a game that was to watch.
Yeah, he's still around. His brother Chris, I guess, isn't doing anything. He was with the Oakland Raiders. Cut this season against Boomer Snyder. No rebound. Hamilton. Follow-up. Hamilton is good, and he's fouled.
What a big board by Rob Hamilton, and a big putback there to start the fourth quarter. Shooting percentages in the third quarter, Salisbury was 5 of 11 for 45%. Southern Lehigh was 7 of 11 for 64%. Turnovers to this point in the game, Salisbury's committed 6. Southern Lehigh's committed 10.
Hamilton on a free throw line in one attempt tonight. He missed it. This is to complete the three-point play, and he does. 46-41. Southern Lehigh by 5. 7:20 remaining in the ball game. Antoine Hubbard for 3, not good. Boomer Snyder rebounds for the Spartans. Gets it all the way down to Mike Yerkes, who has to check off. And then gets it back to Snyder.
Just seems all night long that Salisbury's able to close to within 2 or 3, and then Southern Lehigh puts on a little run.
Jason Mack, 5th field goal. 3rd one here in the second half. 48-41. Faust. Sparky. No. He was fouled. Rob Hamilton will be charged with a 3rd personal foul. Substitution, Eon Wrestler into the lineup for Scott Oldt. Oldt's only a sophomore, 6'3" for Salisbury. Faust on a free throw line for the first time tonight.
Both teams now in the penalty, so all fouls will be 1-and-1s, or except in the act of shooting where there will be 2.
Ball down out of bounds, and Salisbury dodges a bullet, and the Falcons will get it. There's Sam Merritt, the official. Faust. Inbounds to Hubbard. Antoine. Back to Faust. To Hubbard. Makes a power move for the bucket. Skies, and then hits it. 4th field goal. 48-43.
You don't teach that. That was just great quickness by Hubbard. Knew where he wanted to go and hit that baseline jumper on a tough angle.
Oh, look at this. Mack. Just a little too far underneath. Here comes Hubbard.
Hubbard made a great defensive play there.
He's fouled. This foul could be against Mike Yerkes. If it is, I have him for 5.
Well, no, it's confirmed now because he's staying in the game. And well, no, wait a minute. No, he's staying in. Yeah, so that was foul number 4. Okay. He has 1 more.
All right, Hubbard.
Hubbard, the league's 2nd leading scorer. Behind Catasauqua was Bob Neller, who's averaging 18 a game. Hubbard for Salisbury in league play is averaging 17.5.
48-44. Hubbard intercepts a pass. It's 3-on-3. Behind the back. Ball is up, and there's traveling against Salisbury. Oh, that hurts.
Boy, it certainly does, and it negates an absolutely fabulous pass by Hubbard behind the back. Give Southern Lehigh credit for getting back defensively there to put some pressure on the offensive player.
6:08 remaining in a ball game in regulation. Southern Lehigh leading 48-44. Super 2 Sports tomorrow night, Tuesday at 9:30. We'll be covering the Allentown Central Catholic at Whitehall ball game. 9:30 for your viewing pleasure. Wednesday, we'll be at Johnson Hall on the Moravian College campus covering the Muhlenberg and Moravian ball game for you.
That will be a real good one. Muhlenberg coming very close to upending the #1 ranked team in the nation, Division 3A in F&M. They had them right here in West End Allentown, only to lose 66-64, I believe, was the final. Outstanding basketball game and great effort for Coach Madeira's Mules, and we're going to look at them Wednesday night against a good and well-coached Moravian basketball team.
Friday night, we'll be at Nazareth.
Saucon Valley.
All right, there we are.
Yeah.
We're in a canary cage up here.
That's about it.
How's our friend Richie Snezak doing across the way?
Oh, he's mad at you.
Well, just because his chest dropped a little bit. Traveling call against the Spartans.
This is uncharacteristic of the Spartans here. They do not make mistakes like this offensively. That's back-to-back turnovers. Now they have 3 here in the fourth quarter. 13 for the game.
Hubbard, no. Rebounded by Rob Hamilton. There's a long pass down court for Chris Taylor. Taylor has to check off.
Well, that's a smart play by Taylor. Things aren't going real well right now. Get something out of your half-court offense.
There's Jason Mack in the alley. No. And a foul. And this one is going to be on Chris Taylor, I think. That'll be his second. 5:41 remaining. 48-44, Southern Lehigh. On a free throw line, Mike Stauffer for the first time tonight. The 5'8" senior has a pair of field goals, 1 in each half.
What's really great about this game, John, Mike Stauffer and Creighton Faust both work for Southern Lehigh coach Bob Schaefer in the offseason. Coach Schaefer has a lawn care business, and both these young men for Salisbury work for him. I don't think they exchange any game notes, though, during work.
You mean I won't have to cut my lawn this year?
Oh, call up Coach Schaefer.
All right, Bobby. Ball out of bounds, awarded to the Spartans. And here comes Mike Yerkes back in. He's replacing Chris Taylor. 5:35 remaining. 48-46. Southern Lehigh by a deuce. Mike Yerkes with the ball. Gets it over to Boomer Snyder. Snyder.
Salisbury picking up that defensive intensity.
Yerkes. Oh, good play from behind by Antoine Hubbard. Spun around and knocked the ball out of their hand. Here's Hubbard in the paint, throws it up. Not good. Rebound. Follow-up shot is not good. Ball knocked down and out of bounds. And awarded to Southern Lehigh.
Salisbury trying to force the issue there a little bit, even controlled the board, but didn't get a particularly good shot opportunity there.
5 minutes remaining and running. Snyder, Sachs. Jason Mack. Snyder, underneath all alone. Mike Yerkes picks up his 5th field goal.
What makes that play successful is the fact that Snyder feeds Yerkes on the right hand. Hubbard was playing to the outside a little bit, and Snyder gave Yerkes a nice lead there. It resulted in an easy 2 points.
Personal foul against Boomer Snyder. That's his first on a free throw line for Salisbury is Eon Wrestler for the first time tonight. He has 3 field goals.
What a
50
game.
to 47.
Well, they talk about his points in the last meeting, 22, but how about 15 rebounds, 4 blocks, 9 of 12 from the floor.
Foul. This one against Paul Rodenberger, his 3rd.
Boy, and Antoine Hubbard is just having a rough night. He made a nice steal underneath the basket, circled around and tried to convert on about a 4-foot jump shot, and ball just rolled off the rim, looked like it was good, and then Salisbury picks up a personal foul. And this is the hump that Salisbury has not been able to get over. They get to 2, they have it to 3 right now, but they just cannot pull even and surge in front.
Mack on a foul line for the first time tonight. 51 to 47, Southern Lehigh. Don't forget this for the first half, Colonial League Championship. Picks up a pair. That's 12 points tonight for Jason. 52 to 47. A lot of time, 4:20 remaining. Faust in a paint. Can't get the shot away. Baseline shot is up and in by Eon Wrestler. That's his 4th field goal. 3 out of the 4 here in the second half. 52 to 49.
That's a tough shot by Wrestler, number 52. Hamilton for Southern Lehigh played some nice defense there, helping off his man, coming back to get a hand in the face of Wrestler, who was still able to convert.
Sachs fouled by Creighton Faust. That'll be Sparky's 2nd personal foul.
Well, getting a lot of mileage out of that play again tonight and all year, Bill Pollock. Hollering some instructions to his left, Frank Yelenko, his assistant.
Only one man has seniority over him in coaching here in the Lehigh Valley, and that's Bill Pencil, who has 29 years. This is Pollock, 28. Sachs.
Yeah, but Coach Pollock got a little closer because Coach Pencil missed that one game this year.
Oh, that's right.
So he got a little closer.
Pair by Brett Sachs. 54 to 49. Southern Lehigh, 3:50 remaining in the ball game. Rodenberger, Faust. Rodenberger back to Faust for 3. If it goes, no. Foul against Rodenberger, his 4th.
Salisbury now just 1 of 7 shooting here in the 4th quarter, and not what they needed, and it's part of the problem of getting over that hump. They just cannot convert that key basket. They've had opportunities now. Southern Lehigh has opened up the margin to 5.
All right, Hamilton, 4 field goals, 1 out of 2 from the foul line.
It's important for Salisbury to play smart here. Game's certainly not over. They are committing an awful lot of fouls and putting the Spartans to the free throw line, where they have been very adequate here this evening and all year.
Get a lot of mileage out of this guy in next year. 6'5", junior.
Oh, he gets better every time you see him, too.
Oh, Hubbard lost the handle momentarily, but picked it up. Look at this. They took it right out of his hand. Jason Mack tied him up like a knot.
And also Hamilton was the first to get there. That's the defensive philosophy there. When Hubbard drives, you need 2 and 3 people to come over and help out. That's the kind of respect number 23 in white commands.
3:10 and running. Ball knocked down out of bounds will be awarded to Southern Lehigh. 54 to 49. Spartans leading Salisbury. Snyder were inbounds to Sachs. Yerkes to Mack. That's his spot right there. Foul against Yerkes.
Oh, boy.
That'll be his 5th.
Oh, boy, and a dejected Southern Lehigh bench realizes that they have now lost Yerkes, and again, he's the one responsible for Hubbard. It was off the ball. It looked like some kind of an illegal screen, but Yerkes is now gone for the night with 3:01 still to play in the game.
Substitution also for Salisbury. Rodenberger's out. Oldt is back in. And Chris Taylor, the 6-foot junior, is in replacing Mike Yerkes for Southern Lehigh. Faust on the foul line. Creighton had 1 attempt tonight. He missed it. He has 4 field goals. One of them a three-pointer. 9 points. He had all 9 in the first half. Oh.
Salisbury has 2 of the 5 top scorers in the Colonial League.
He pulled a string on that one.
Yeah,
Never followed through with it.
Yeah.
And Pollock wants a timeout.
2 of the 5 top scorers in the Colonial League. I mentioned Hubbard averaging 17.5 points a game. Creighton Faust is averaging 15.6 a game in league play, and currently that ranks him 5th behind Dwight Stonewall of Bangor, who's averaging 16.5. 3rd is Mike Nicole of Palisades, averaging 16.6. And again on top is Bob Neller of Catasauqua at 18 points a game.
I mentioned the other night about Richie Slizak putting on some weight. His mother said that was the sweater. That's the style. A big sweater.
Okay, so Mom's still sticking up for her son, huh? Still protecting her son.
Yeah.
Really looks small sitting over there by Pumpkin Miller anyhow.
Looks bigger standing aside of Pollock, though.
Yeah, there you go. It's all relative, I guess.
Yeah. 54-49 is the score here with 2:59 remaining in regulation and Southern Lehigh leading.
It's a good timeout called by Pollock. His team seems to be a little bit rattled right now. They're not taking real good shots offensively. They're not converting free throws. They need a basket here with just under 3 minutes to play.
Inbounds to Stauffer. And there's a foul.
Drawing Hubbard now will be Chris Taylor. He picked up Hubbard when Yerkes went to the bench in foul trouble early. So Taylor will be on Hubbard the rest of the evening.
Foul against Jason Mack. And with 2:55 remaining in the ball game, that's the 4th foul on Mack. On the foul line, Eon Wrestler. 1 out of 3. Hit his first and then missed his last 2.
Coach Pollock buried his head in his hands across the way. These free throws, oh, so important here. And Salisbury gets one to drop there, just falling over the front of the rim.
All right, 54-50. A lot of time. 2:50 in running. Jason Mack with the ball for the Spartans. Up pass to Snyder. Jason Mack, that's his spot. No, it comes up a little bit short. Salisbury rebound. Here's Faust. Sparky gets it to Hubbard. Hubbard for 3. No. Rebound. Follow-up is partially deflected by Wrestler. Up and in by Hubbard. The follow-up shot with his 5th field goal. And the Falcons pull to within 2, 54-52.
And that
with 2:15 remaining. Foul against Hubbard. His 4th.
That is only the 2nd field goal for Salisbury here in the 4th quarter, yet they're still alive, down 2. And the 2nd personal foul that Hubbard has committed out by that half-court area there. And I'm sure that's something Coach Pollock will talk to him about. Cannot afford to pick up those kind of personal fouls.
All right, on the free throw line, Chris Taylor, scoreless from the field. 2 out of 2 from the foul line tonight. 3 out of 3.
Boy, Southern Lehigh really is doing an extremely good job from that free throw line tonight.
55-52. Southern Lehigh. 56-52.
And there again, Salisbury gets to within 2, and Southern Lehigh has an answer.
Hubbard in a power line. Got it. Boy, you talk about a power move. That was one. 56-54. 2 minutes remaining.
You could see that this young man has the capabilities to score 46.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. It's 2-on-1. Hubbard keeps. Up off the glass. Too high, too hard. Rebounded by Southern Lehigh. Nice play, Taylor, but he missed it. And here's Hubbard. For 3. Bullseye! And he was fouled.
Well, there's the one that gets him over the hump. Southern Lehigh missed a peeper on the break. Antoine Hubbard in transition puts Salisbury in the lead, I believe, for the first time tonight.
No, they had a 1-point lead in the first half.
Okay.
They are now leading 57-56. The foul was against Chris Taylor. Timeout called by Bob Schaefer of Southern Lehigh. 1:39 on the clock. When time is back in, Hubbard goes to the foul line to complete the 4-point play.
Well, that's what it's going to turn out to be. And keep in mind, Yerkes fouled out at the 3:01 mark. Hubbard had 12 points at that point, and I think in a matter of little over a minute, Hubbard has now scored. Well, he's got 3, he's got a goal is 5, a free throw 6. He's looking for his 7th point in that short span.
How about you poor people who stayed home to watch MacGyver? You could have been here watching a great game.
This Colonial League is great action this year. I'll tell you, the second half is going to be a war because you know Catasauqua, Nazareth.
Boy, we have some good games.
Sure do. Saucon Valley looking to get a piece of that second half title.
We have Salisbury a couple of games, Saucon Valley a couple of games, the second half coming up. Hubbard, the 5'10 sophomore, has it. 58-56, Salisbury, full court pressure. Brett Sachs, guarded by Faust, gets around Faust, but there's a whistle on the play. And a foul against Faust.
Yeah, they call Faust for a little bumping and pushing there. I'll tell you, he had Sachs in a lot of trouble over along that line.
Brett Sachs, 1 field goal in the first half. 2 out of 2 fouls in the second half. This is a 1-and-1. No. For 3. Not good. Boomer Snyder's attempt for 3. Look out. Scramble for it. A foul, and this one will be on Brett Sachs of Southern Lehigh, his 3rd. Yeah.
Coach Pollock there a little excited about what's going on there. His team has an opportunity to increase the lead. I'm a little surprised. Hamilton got a nice offensive board off the missed free throw. I think maybe he might have been better. I know there was a lot of defensive pressure, but he might have been better to just kick that one back in.
You see those grandparents there in the cheering section? Mike Stauffer, 3 out of 3 from the foul line to give Salisbury a 3-point advantage, 59-56. 1:21 remaining. Stauffer, no. But Antoine Hubbard rebounds.
Coach Pollock wants timeout.
Oh, boy, they almost threw that ball away.
He just got it in time,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, because Hubbard was not the player calling timeout. The player Hubbard was passing to was calling timeout. Hubbard didn't see it and let the ball go, but the timeout obviously was called.
Yeah, because the official watched the ball go by him and out of bounds.
Right.
But he heard the call for timeout.
Right.
1 minute and 17 seconds remaining in regulation. Salisbury is leading 59-56. They were trailing 43-41 at the end of 3 quarters of play.
So important on offensive free throws or on free throws that you box out in case of a wild or long rebound. Salisbury, with good quickness by Hubbard, is able to track down a long rebound off a missed free throw. Southern Lehigh puts life into Salisbury now with a 3-point lead. Salisbury has the basketball.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, Tuesday, 9:30, Central Catholic at Whitehall. Wednesday, Muhlenberg at Moravian. And Friday night, we'll be up in Nazareth.
With Saucon Valley and Nazareth.
Oh, boy, that ought to be a
Oh,
beauty.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have great games all this week.
All right, Faust.
Hubbard, who was a wide receiver on the Falcon football team, does a nice job of running his man off the screen, and he's there. He's unable to convert it, and Hamilton, another good, strong defensive rebound.
Foul against Wrestler. Rob Hamilton on a free throw line, 1 out of 3. To go along with 4 field goals. 59-56, Salisbury. $59-57.
I'm impressed with Southern Lehigh free throw shooting here tonight. Very good, and everybody who goes to that line is doing a good job.
After watching a great game here Saturday night. Pressure. 59-58. Salisbury leading Southern Lehigh for the first half Colonial League Championship. Stauffer to Faust. Now we're in a countdown, ladies and gentlemen. 55 seconds. Rodenberger with the ball to Hubbard.
We'll see how long Southern Lehigh waits before maybe there's the foul.
Foul against Snyder. That's only the second for Boomer.
And that's a good job by Southern Lehigh. Stauffer's a 50% free throw shooter. You know, amongst the best wrestlers, 65%. Faust is 66. Hubbard 77. So they picked out the man. They're playing the percentages.
Well, tonight, Stauffer hit his first three and then missed one. Now he hit his fifth attempt. So he's 4 out of 5. And his team is leading by 2, 60 to 58.
Stauffer banked that one in, and Boomer Snyder said something to him, and Stauffer just raised his hand. He said, hey, I can't help it. It went in.
Yeah.
Certainly not.
You try to make them look nice and clean, and you don't make them. Who cares how you go to them?
That's probably what he said to Boomer. 2-point game.
Snyder. Sachs. Spread outside the perimeter in 3-point range.
Hey, turnovers are going to be the difference.
28 seconds.
If Southern Lehigh does not win, it's because of turnovers. 7 alone here in the fourth quarter. They've committed 17 for the night. You see Bob Schaefer with that growl on the sidelines. He's going to now have to come up with something. I was thinking,
he's a good coach.
Oh, he does a great job. You can see the discipline on his team year in and year out. I think they might have been looking for something with Hamilton inside. He had Wrestler on his back at 6'3", Hamilton at 6'5", and maybe a little bit stronger and more physical. I think Southern Lehigh might have been looking to go inside to Hamilton, but the travel out in front negates all of that, and Salisbury again will have the basketball with a 2-point lead. Great game.
28 seconds remaining when time is back in. Salisbury will have possession. They lead 60 to 58.
You know, this is one of those games, John, you know, when you watch it and you sit here, it's a shame one of the teams has to lose.
Yeah.
Because it's been well played. There's been great sportsmanship and just outstanding basketball game. And I think for people who enjoy basketball, there's going to be a lot of this action in the Colonial League.
Jamie Ebersol in the lineup for Salisbury, replacing Paul Rodenberger. All right, here's Antoine Hubbard with the ball and up over the timeline.
Well, that's a good move by Pollock because he's now getting better free throw shooters into the game, and that's the man who gets fouled.
Foul against Snyder.
That's nice coaching by Coach Pollock. He took Rodenberger out, who's a 33% free throw shooter, and put in Ebersol, who's a 69% free throw shooter.
All right, Ebersol scoreless. First trip to the foul line.
You know, and this is what he was playing for. Now this, well, we'll see how smart he was.
He's a 5'8" junior. No.
And another big rebound by Hamilton.
Sachs. Shot is up, not good by Taylor. And awarded to Southern Lehigh with 7 seconds. 7 ticks. And we have a timeout. Charges win to Southern Lehigh.
Oh, boy. Everything that we expected looked like Taylor might have pulled the string there a little bit. I'll tell you, he was so wide open, and I think more than anything that might have bothered him a little bit.
Well, we know one thing. It's not going to be a 3-point shot. They're going to get it in, I think, probably to Hamilton, and inside that perimeter for the tie.
I think that's what I would do, John. I think Hamilton has an advantage inside there at 6'5". He's the biggest man on the court and has the best leaping ability.
Or either Jason Mack in that 10-footer.
Right. The only thing might happen with the three-pointer is if you wind up with a loose ball somewhere and somebody kicks it outside, and Snyder, you know, if that's what comes open. Are officials there? You see Gary Spangler and Sam Errett.
Yeah, but the odds, though, on getting a three-pointer, you know. Yeah, I personally, I would go for the tie.
Oh, I definitely look to kick it inside to Hamilton.
Now, if the ball was a center court, it's different. Then you go for the 3-point range.
Yep. Okay, we have it set. Let's see what they try to do.
All right. Here we go. 7 seconds remaining in a ball game. Boomer and Snyder will work it inbound.
Look for some crossing action down along that baseline to try and set somebody free.
Inside, Sachs. No, yes! Followed up by Rob Hamilton. He ties it up with 1 second on the clock.
Well, I'll tell you what Coach Schaefer went with there.
Pollock wants a couple more seconds.
Yeah, he's trying to get him. I don't know if he's going. Well, he wants one more. No, he wants 2 more up there. He's hollering for 3. 1 second's all he's getting.
Sam Merritt says no.
That's it. He says, all you get is 1 second, Coach. I'll tell you what happened there. Southern Lehigh went for Sachs to hit the jumper. Now, what they did is they moved Hamilton, and most of your rebounds from the right side will go over to the weak side. They'll carry them over there. They let Hamilton, they wanted a quick shot, so if it was a miss, play the percentage on the miss and have Hamilton on the weak side. And I'll tell you, it wasn't designed as a miss, but they played the percentages on it, and Hamilton was at the right spot, used his size, and scored from inside.
All right, 1 second remaining.
That's a good job, and I don't. There's no doubt in my mind that Coach Schaefer was thinking along that line, just simply how quickly Sachs shot the ball. He was looking if there was a miss to have a chance at an offensive rebound, and that's what he got.
Well, you got to get it to Hubbard, who'll turn around and throw it up from center court.
Well, you got to, I would think, pressure the man out of bounds, but they are not. They're all back here at center court.
There's the quarterback. Oh, if it goes, it's good. Whoa!
A little bit of a mistake there.
Oh, Rodenberger, a line drive shot that hit the rim. Flush. Bounced off, and we go into overtime. 3 minutes. That was close, you know that.
Tell you, a little more arc and it goes.
Yeah.
If there's higher trajectory on it, it goes.
Too much of a line drive.
Yep. Shooting percentages in the 4th quarter, and they are not good. Salisbury was 4 of 14 for 14%. Southern Lehigh was 4 of 11 for 36%. But the big story, some interested fans there taking the game in. Frank Yelenko. The big story in that 4th quarter, 7 Southern Lehigh turnovers to only 1 for Salisbury. The total in the game, Salisbury 7, Southern Lehigh 17. We will go to a 3-minute overtime. Boy, this is great.
Great basketball
Sure
game.
is.
This is the way, championship game, that's what it is.
That's right.
Besides the championship.
We were treated to the same kind of action on Saturday evening, too, with Saucon Valley.
All right, Wrestler and Rob Hamilton will be jumping up. We go into the 3-minute overtime period, and we're tied at 60.
And if you're looking for number 14, Mike Yerkes, he has fouled out in the 3:01 mark of the 4th quarter.
Baseline shot up and in by Jim Coyle, and that's his first field goal of the night.
Well, Coyle likes overtime situations. He was the hero against Saucon Valley earlier in overtime this year.
Hubbard comes back with a quickie to tie it up at 62. Hubbard has a bushel. He only had 2 the first half. Snyder, Brett Sachs. Gets it over to Jim Coyle. Coyle in a paint. Oh, what a good move, but missed the layup. Out of bounds, and Salisbury will get it.
Boy, Coyle did make an excellent move to get to the basket, and then he was all alone, and that's a shot he is normally going to convert.
6'3" freshman. Substitution, Oldt back in the lineup for Salisbury. Replacing Eon Wrestler. Hubbard, 3, no. Rebounded by Jason Mack, but it looks like they turn it over. No, they're going to give it to him. They say that it was touched last by Salisbury.
Mack and Hamilton are doing a real nice job on the boards defensively for Southern Lehigh.
We're tied at 62. There's Jason Mack, looking for help, looking for help. Gets it up to Coyle. Sachs.
Hubbard guarding Coyle, and I think I'd have to attack that. Hubbard has 4 personal fouls.
Mack, no good. Gets the rebound. Follows it up, not good. Rebound, taken out of the air by Mike Stauffer of Salisbury. Up to Faust. Creighton inside the perimeter. Checks back out of it. Stauffer, no. But that was safe. That was safe. And Hubbard gets it. The inbound tap. Now Pollock wants him to go into a weave.
Nice hustle by number 32 with the ball, Paul Rodenberger, who made the save.
I thought our cameraman tapped that in.
The key there is that he saved it under his own basket offensively. You're not going to give up an easy 2 points, and you might control the ball the way Salisbury did.
Rodenberger looking for help. Mike Stauffer, 1 minute remaining. We're tied at 62. So the Falcons are going to go for one shot. Hubbard said something. Hubbard talking to Gary Spangler. I don't know what he's asking.
I don't know either, boy. This is an intense game to be talking with the officials.
40 seconds. Stauffer.
I'm sure Salisbury would like to work the clock down to maybe 10
Oh, look
or 15.
at this. Faust. Nice play. Beautiful play. Oh, gets the bucket on the assist from Sparky Faust. 64-62. Salisbury.
Well,
20 seconds and running.
Southern Lehigh overplayed.
For 3. No. Hamilton, there he is. The money man gets it over to Coyle, but he traveled with it. Jim took that extra step underneath. 14 seconds remaining.
That's a tough break for Southern Lehigh there because Coyle was all alone.
Faust is fouled by Snyder.
It's a nice job by Salisbury of getting the ball into someone like Faust's hands there, 66% free throw shooter, and he's who you want there in this kind of a situation. 12 seconds remain in the game. 64-62 Salisbury. Faust maybe with an opportunity with front end of a 1-and-1 here to maybe put it away. He needs both of them. Gets the first one.
Faust 1 out of 3.
Tough young man, Creighton Faust. Had a tough football season this year. Hung in there to be first team all-league defensively.
Oh, he got a big pair.
Yep. And that second one is a key because that increases it to 4.
And we have a timeout. 12 seconds remaining. Salisbury up by 4, 66-62.
Well, again, it's a turnover that plagues Southern Lehigh. The turnover going to the basket gives them 1 here in overtime, but it was a big one. But Southern Lehigh had their opportunities here in overtime. They had some good boards. They had some good penetration. They just didn't finish them off, and Salisbury exploited that, took advantage, and Faust now with the 2 for 2 from the free throw line has increased the margin to 4 points with only 12 seconds to play, and things looking bleak for Southern Lehigh. I'm sure we'll see Salisbury pick up maybe somewhere around half court, possibly full court, and make Southern Lehigh work that 12 seconds off the clock here in trying to score. Great basketball game.
Jason Mack will inbounds for the Spartans.
Okay, looking at about 3/4 court. You don't want to foul here. You just make them work to get the ball up court.
Brett Sachs for 3. No. Ball batted and taken out of the air by Mike Stauffer, and he was fouled.
Well, that's going to do it.
With 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's going to do it with 2 seconds. Got to give credit to Salisbury. They went into last Thursday night's game 1 game behind in the first half. They knew if they were going to come on and win this first half title, they were going to have to beat somebody twice of caliber, that being either Southern Lehigh twice or Saucon Valley maybe or whatever, and possibly win 3 games to win this first half. And it looks like Coach Pollock's troops are going to accomplish what they needed to do. Stauffer will be at the free throw line, coming off a career high against Salisbury or Southern Lehigh last time. 14 points. He's a 5.8-point-a-game guy, but came up with 14, and I'm sure Coach Schaefer of Southern Lehigh will have something to say to Stauffer about that this summer.
That's the basketball game.
2 coaches that know each other very well, assistants congratulating each other. Keep in mind that we'll all live to play another day. This is just the first half title. This is not the league championship. this is just, and certainly you want to win this. Salisbury looking good now for the second half. Southern Lehigh, their overall record will drop to 13-4. They were 7-1 in first half play to qualify for the tournament. Looking ahead for Southern Lehigh now, and there was some talk about their game tomorrow night with Palisades being moved to Wednesday night. That was not confirmed. You're going to have to check, but we are assuming that Southern Lehigh will play Palisades at Palisades tomorrow night and then have to travel Friday at Catasauqua. No rest for Bob Schaefer and the Spartans after a tough loss here this evening. They're going to have to regroup and get back into second half action in the Colonial League. For Salisbury, the Falcons, they will increase their record to 14-2. Coach Pollock, and Salisbury, the defending Colonial League champs after going undefeated last year. Now looking ahead for them, they do not play a league game tomorrow night, so things schedule a little favoring them after an emotional win here. They will have an off night tomorrow night. They will get back into league play Friday night. They will travel and play at Palisades and then resume league play next Tuesday night when they will be home against Catasauqua. League, again, very well balanced. You look at teams that in the second half play will be interesting and good matchups. Saucon Valley, Nazareth, who we will see go head-to-head Friday night. Wilson at 4-4. Catasauqua finished at only 3-5. Much higher touted than that at the beginning of the season. So a good second half to look forward to here in the Colonial League.
All right, at the end of the first quarter, Southern Lehigh led 13-10. Each team scored 16 points in the second period. And Southern Lehigh took a 29-26 lead into the locker room at the halftime break. After the intermission, Salisbury outscored Southern Lehigh 15-14 in the third period to chop the deficit, but Southern Lehigh led 43-41 after 3 quarters of play. Salisbury outscored the Spartans 19-17 in the fourth period to tie up the ball game at 60, and then outscored Southern Lehigh again in the overtime period 6-2 to win a ball game 66-62, and with it the first half league championship. Individual scoring honors for the night for Salisbury went to Antoine Hubbard, who had 8 field goals, including 2 3-pointers, 4 out of 5 from the foul line for his total of 22. Eon Wrestler, 4 field goals.